guys. How are you doing? I am Jen Burson. I'm the founder of Generation PR and the creator of Generation Academy. This is going to be a really good chat, one I'm really excited about. I want to focus on being present in your business. We're going to focus on investing in yourself and being present in your business, because sometimes we get into this like go, go, go mindset and perspective of just things are happening really fast. The news cycle is really fast. And I don't love that feeling. I like to pause and focus on what I need, what I want in my personal life and professionally. I want to be intentional as I build my agency. I know that when we are intentional and we are purposeful and we are present in our lives and our businesses, and you know what I mean by present, like sometimes you're physically here, but your mind is a million miles away. So if you want to make this move for yourself, and you want to kind of recenter yourself and get grounded in your agency again, I have for you today 6 ways that I can share that will help you be more intentional in your business. And so what is that? What is intentionality? I know it's like this big buzzword right now, and sometimes it's hard to figure out what that means for you specifically. When something is intentional, it is planned, it is done by design, it is purposeful, it's deliberate. When you are being intentional, you are being deliberate, strategic, and living on purpose, like deciding what your purpose is and living towards that goal and that purpose. And I know flying by the seat of our pants sometimes is how things happen when business just kind of pushes us into a forward direction and we have to be reactive and do all that just to keep up. Maybe you're making decisions on a whim or you're not doing your research. That's how to not be intentional. But when you decide to implement this intentionality into your business, you're deciding to only take action on the things that are the most important for you in your business. And you're recentering your business's focus and putting your goals and your values at the forefront. And the really cool thing is that it makes decision-making a lot easier when you're very clear on your values and your vision. I talk about that a lot. Like, I will know when I talk to a client or research a potential client if they will align with my vision for my business, how I want my business to feel, if their core values and how they run their business or what their purposes of their business aligns with my core values. And if it doesn't, it's a clear no. So it's kind of an interesting byproduct of living intentionally with your business, that you get to have clarity around the decisions that you're making. And it makes no's a lot easier, and it makes hell yes, a lot easier to identify as well. So here are 6 ways that I have for you to be more intentional in your business. The first one is remember why you became a PR pro. You're on this journey for a reason. Maybe you wanted to forge your own path in your dream industry, or being on your own and doing this service where you can add and sort of take away clients and workload as needed in your life. And whatever it is for you, having that at the center of your business is the key to success. So your business choices should be aligned with your values and your why. So take that time and really sit and reflect on why you got into PR in the first place. Maybe that was last year. Maybe it was over a decade ago. Maybe it was more than 3 decades ago. Is your why still the same? And has that changed at all? And that's okay if it's changed. It could change for the better, for new reasons. Like, you did become a mom, or you did grow your family, or you decided you wanted to travel and be working while you're on the go. So with that why, When I say why, it's like, what is the reason why you want to work in this industry? Why you want to work for yourself? What does that mean for your life? You know, the flexibility, the freedom, all of that. When that's at the front of your mind, you can have an easier time being intentional and making those decisions, like I said, for your business, big and small. That's when making those choices around your niche and the services you provide and saying no to a client or having them pause and not getting involved in their hot mess, that comes from a place of intentionality, saying my business should make me feel like I have a purpose, like I'm happy, like I'm doing the work I love and adding tremendous value to my clients, but also not make me feel crazy every single day. Working with a hot mess client because they don't have their ish together is not being, on purpose or living your why with your business. So it makes that decision really easy, which is why it's a big deal to identify that and say, I don't have to stick around here for this. And struggle because they don't have it figured out. Take your time, figure it out, come back to me when you're ready. So know your why, remember your why, spend some time to really identify that because it will be a guiding North Star for you, making decisions big and small easy. Number 2 is get your time management skills in check. This is around the ability to structure your day, how you work best, how you want your day to feel. This is one of the biggest benefits of being an entrepreneur. And so you get to choose, how do you want your days to be? And that blessing can also be a curse because it's way too easy to get caught up in these little tasks, these hiccups, these reactive fires we're putting out, and sometimes we lose track of time. So being intentional in your business means being intentional with your time. So you can form a daily routine that sets you up for success. Stick to your boundaries on meeting times, call lengths, create distraction-free work zones in your home. One of the ways that we are able to really ensure that our meetings are productive and they do not run on too long with all this like BSing and shooting the, we really only schedule time that we absolutely need. I know a lot of people will just block out an hour. You're losing a lot of time in between when calls because you're kind of waiting for the next thing and you really don't check into an activity because you blocked out that time and you're off and you're getting on to the next thing. And so you're kind of like, well, I don't, have really anything I can do in this little spot. So intentionally book a smaller window, and then we set call agendas. We circulate them around the team to make sure everybody has all of their questions responded to or on the agenda so we can get responses. And we also have it in the meeting note on the client's schedule and we'll send a note and say, please add anything to the agenda you want to discuss. We leave a spot for them. And now everybody's thoughts are on the agenda. This is a way to really ensure that everybody's time is used the most wisely. And the other thing is focusing on your energy level and the days and the time of the day where you feel the most focused, the most creative. Do not give that time to responding to nonsense in your inbox. I know as PR professionals, we always want to be super responsive and get back to people right away and be really on the ball and show clients like, I got your message, I'm working on it, look at me, I'm super responsive. We love doing that too. However, if you're using your most focused, your most creative time of day to just triage your emails, you're wasting that horsepower. You are wasting it on other people's prioritization of how you're spending your time. That's all your inbox is just a sorting, opportunity for other people to slip in and distract you and take your time because their need is immediately in your inbox and you get that alert and you feel you have to respond to it. If you're distracting your flow state of working on strategies and creative things just to respond to email, you're wasting that horsepower in this minutia, and that's not the best use of your time. So building dedicated time in your day to work on certain tasks will keep you focused, let your creative and strategic juices flow. Try not to get pulled into the distractions, the minutia, because you will just be in reactive mode, and that is not being intentional. The third way is lead with kindness, trust, and respect. So as a PR pro, we know we're managing a lot of relationships. So we have our, client relationships, we have media contacts, we have our own professional network, and our team. And so this intentionality in your business will extend to them as well. And there are endless ways to bring intentionality into your PR relationships, but a few ideas are you can be a really careful listener in discussions with clients. That could even extend, and I hope it does, to your discovery calls with clients, because when you're on those calls, you're stepping into your role as the expert and you're serving them, you're supporting them, you're guiding them even during that getting to know you phase where it might just be, the early days, and you're really trying to show them, like, we know this niche, we know your industry, this is the way it works. You're guiding them to educate them, but you're also listening. And the listening part will help you identify their goals, their objectives, what didn't work the last time they worked with a PR firm. You can then literally parrot that back to them. So you can take that information, you're being a careful listener, and you can include it in your strategy, in your proposal, in email responses to clients, just really showing you listen. You understand what they're looking for. You understand their challenges and their goals. And you're showing by being an active listener that you are really checked in. Be a careful listener also with your team. Trust also that your media contacts, they're doing their job and they do it well. And, when you land a pitch or you organize an exclusive, really convey that trust, give them a complete story to pull from, and know that they are going to do a great job with it. You're not going to breathe down their neck. What are you writing? Can you change this? You can't do that. So you have to give that respect to the journalists and their place in how they're positioning your client, and they're kind of working on their directives from their publisher or their editor. They have reasons for linking out to certain things. They have reasons for excluding certain things. You can't second guess. You have to trust that relationship. You also have to be willing to be a sounding board for professional contacts in need of your advice or assistance. And I'm not saying let people pick your brain for free. Sometimes they do just need a little quick, hey, can I run something by you? Sure. Be generous with your expertise, because you're putting that out into the world. You're giving something in exchange for nothing. I'm not saying, listen, it's not an hour of a stranger saying, can I pick your brain? That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is just being a sounding board. You have your professional relationships. You have people that you respect, that you want to keep a positive, mutually beneficial relationship with. If they want to run advice run a scenario by you and seek your advice or need some assistance on something, offer them a contact. No big deal. Give them some insight into what they're asking and how they can improve it a little bit. It doesn't have to be an hour-long conversation, but you're just being generous and, opening up your heart and sharing your expertise, and that comes back to you in your life. It just does, so be kind and open-hearted in that sense, and also treat your team with respect. Show you care and you believe in them. And this is probably the most important thing. Make sure they know they're doing a good job. Make sure they feel appreciated. A lot of times clients don't do that. And it sucks. Your team members like securing something great for your client, and then they don't really give it the acknowledgement that it maybe deserves. That's also your job too. That team member is making you look good by landing press and working really hard. And you want them to feel encouraged to work hard on your behalf. So make sure they know that you appreciate the work they're doing. Their time and effort is really appreciated. Their results are great. Make sure they know you believe in them and that you care. If they go through something in their personal life, follow up and ask them about it. That goes back to being a careful listener. Okay, so that's number 3. Lead with kindness, trust, and respect. Number 4, you've got to let go of perfectionism. When I say be intentional, it does not mean being perfect. You are going to make mistakes along the way, missteps. You might not reach one of your goals in an ideal timeline. You might take on a client even though you ignored the red flags. Like, don't beat yourself up over it. It's all okay. Intentionality in your agency is about taking meaningful action towards reaching your goals, building your business the way you want and the way you want it to work and feel for yourself. And as long as you stay on that path and you keep working towards those goals, you kind of chip away at it, and you hold your why top of your mind, close to your heart. Timing doesn't matter. The timing of when doesn't matter as much. And so you also have to kind of let go of the how and the when, because things are going to happen as they're meant to. And they might happen a little differently than you anticipate, but it could be better than you ever imagined. You can't be so set on a certain outcome exactly that way and exactly in a certain time, because you really can't control that. We can only really understand our why, our purpose, how we want our business to feel, and start making decisions from that place. And that's number 4. Number 5 is help your team be more intentional too. You are the leader of your agency. You are a role model, and that also means not just your team, but anybody watching you. Your kids are watching, and also with your team, set your team to follow your intentional example. You can set the tone for your agency by sharing your goals. Share your goals with them, or include your team in the goal setting process. Stick to your boundaries. I always talk about that, and talk through this expectation that your team is going to stick to their boundaries as well. I always respect my team's time. I don't care where they are, what they're doing, as long as they get results. I don't care. So if they have to go and take their kid to the doc, it's like, I don't need to know about any of that, because I know that they are just effective and they're getting their work done, and they could work when their kids go to bed. Just set those boundaries. I also want my team to respect the boundaries we set when it comes to clients, because sometimes clients will go around you as the agency owner and go directly to your team member and ask for things maybe that are out of scope. And the team sometimes will just say, let me take care of that for you. And we often do things that are out of scope just to be a great service provider. But if they're doing something that's incredibly time consuming, we need to know about that. So the team has to respect those boundaries and be able to push back, or at least come to you and say, this doesn't feel right. How should I handle this? Push back. We have boundaries. So we want to make sure also that we're open and giving feedback, and give out praise, give out constructive feedback. That's part of being intentional with your team. setting those expectations, letting them know when they've met or exceeded your expectations, letting them know that maybe we always do it like in a compliment sandwich, right? So we'll say something really positive, then we'll give that really like helpful, constructive feedback, and then we'll end with the positive. So it's like a compliment sandwich. And right in the middle is the thing that you really want them to think about, to improve, to work on. But the tone is constructive. It's not criticism or critical. And when you set that example, they're also more likely to give each other that same recognition, that same advice. Everyone in your agency will be better for it, and they'll be more motivated to perform and will grow their skills and confidence. Everybody can be somebody in the team that is improving the overall performance of the team. So that is how you can empower your team to be intentional, and also just realize that you are a role model and people are watching you. And the last one, set goals for yourself and make a plan to reach them. We're going to set aside time for ourselves to outline our goals for the next year. And then when you're deciding your goals, think about, do like a retrospective on the last year. Think about things you want to change, that you want to improve. Think about what you and your team could have done better and where you want to see your agency grow. But also think about what worked really well and what felt really good, so you can continue to work in that direction as well and do the things that feel really good and do more of it. The other thing, and this is where it might be controversial, is setting SMART goals. So that is specific, measurable, and the A is achievable or attainable. And I'm going to say, maybe let's change the A to all in, okay? Relevant, time bound, okay? So you have something within a certain period of time that you can measure, so you have met the goal. And that's why an annual revenue goal works really well, because it's within the 12 months, there's a dollar amount, it's very measurable. You can say, within a certain time period or how you want to earn that revenue. But the achievable part kind of bothers me a bit. And here's why. Let's change it to all in or something like that, because I don't want you setting achievable goals or safe goals just for the purpose of checking the box. I want you to set an all-in goal. Push yourself. Let's say your revenue this year is $100,000. And you think, well, I think like 20% growth sounds reasonable, right? So I want to increase my revenue next year by 20%. So I'm going to say 120. Easy, right? And that's probably most businesses. If they had 20% growth year over year, they would be so happy. That would be like amazing. But not for us. I think there's so much more potential. You can 3x your revenue. You can 10x your revenue. Seriously, go all in. Instead of saying 20% because it's achievable and you can check the box in December because you met your revenue goal, go all in and push yourself. Go for pie in the sky. Do like a good, better, best. Okay? And push yourself, because even, let's say you want to go from 100,000 to $1 million in revenue. That's a huge jump. But you can work backwards from that goal. Be intentional with the decisions you make, with what you charge, with the kinds of clients you attract, with really amplifying the results you've gotten in a specific niche where you want to do more work in that. You want to charge a premium. You've gotten great results. Look what I've done. Clients are like, I want that too. What's your rate? And they go, great, let's start. They don't push back because they want to work specifically with you, right? Because you've shown you can get results. So let's say you aim for $1 million in revenue. That's your best. Let's say your better is 500. I mean, it's pretty amazing, right? And your good is 200 because you were 100 last year, and like good would be double, right? That'd be amazing. I know that's scary. It feels scary. But what's going to happen if you don't achieve it? Nothing. What is going to happen is you will probably get more outcome, more results, closer to the all-in goal than you would get if you just played it safe and met that A as an achievable check the box. Yay, I meet my goals. Say you don't reach 1,000,000. It says nothing about you. Did you give it your all? Did you love the work you did? Did you probably surpass what you would have done if you chose an achievable goal? I don't want you to choose something safe because it's going to make you feel good when you check the box. I want you to choose something that will push you in a great way. A lot of people have just trained themselves to only be feeling successful when they've achieved a goal. That means nothing about you. It really doesn't. You're putting that belief onto yourself. What you should really be thinking about is, how can I push myself beyond what is safe, what feels safe, just to check a box, okay? So you've got your goals. Let's change the A from achievable or attainable into all in, okay? Let's just do that. And then once you've got your goals, make a plan to work towards them. It doesn't have to be broken down day to day. Just give yourself a rough idea of the steps that you probably have to take, do this, do that. Not like granular, but just moving this thing forward. And that'll be enough. And then when you share your goals with your team, your family, your friends, whoever you need to, that will help you hold yourself accountable. They'll probably ask you about it. Hey, how's that going? So when you share those goals, it's time to take action. Stay intentional. Be focused on your goals all year long. Revisit them. If you work on a purpose statement, put your goals in the shower. Put it on your mirror when you're brushing your teeth. The point is to continuously remind yourself, because that will nudge you back on track every single day. That will nudge you in the right direction every single day. It's not enough to just write it down. It's not enough to just tell someone. You need to remind yourself daily. So, these are the 6 ways to be more intentional in your business. Remember your why. Spend some time thinking about it. Why did you become a PR pro? Remember why you're on this journey. Keep that as your North Star. Allow it to help you make decisions one way or another. 2, focus on time management. Be very intentional with how you spend your time, where you're giving your energy, how your energy ebbs and flows each day, and give that focused, creative, strategic flow state energy when you are not being disrupted by meetings and calls and emails. Be intentional with your time management. Lead your team with kindness, trust, and respect. Pay attention to relationships. Be a good listener. You have to let go of perfectionism. Just because you're being intentional does not mean that you need to be perfect. Take meaningful action towards reaching your goals and building the business you want for yourself. If it doesn't align with your vision and values, it's a clear no. Also, help your team to be more intentional too. You are the agency leader. You are the role model. Allow them to be part of the goal setting process. Give out praise. Share constructive feedback and empower your team to do the same, so that your agency will overall just be better for it. Everybody is invested. Set goals for yourself and make a plan to work on them. And don't feel you have to set an achievable goal. Set an all-in goal. Work harder than you probably would have if you were just safe, and watch what you're able to achieve. So there you go. But that's what I have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for being here. Take care. Bye.